It's like I'm writing, I'm like, oh wait, this goes over here. No. Ah, okay.
We're here with Amanda Rogers with the Canna Moms are Good Moms too in Washington State. How is it going?
It is going very well. It's a little gloomy today, but it's actually still kind of nice. Still nice.
Our temperature went up again. We're bipolar. We're Canada, so we've had snow last week, but week before that we were in shorts and tank tops. So we never know.
Good old Canada.
And what's going on with you in the Canna Moms?
Right now, we are still forming our group. We're growing daily. Oh my gosh, it is so crazy. I let in at least 30 members a day. Like,
When did you start?
I started the group back in December 27th. So 12/27 is the start date. And since then, we're at 1,700 private members worldwide. But on top of that, what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to create just a safe space for these moms and these supporters worldwide where we can come together and say, yes, cannabis is okay for us. Cannabis is okay breastfeeding. Cannabis is okay pregnant. Cannabis is okay for our anxiety, our PTSD, our postpartum depression after we just gave birth to this precious child, because it has such a negative stigma in it. So I just have these topics and I'll research things until it is dead. Like I will research it until that research cannot be researched anymore, because I'm trying to give out proper education. Because if we can properly educate on this base ground and keep gathering all these people, because we're bigger in numbers, we're louder in numbers, and I can educate these people that come in, they're now taking this education and they're going out and they're going, oh, hey, I talked to somebody the other day and our big topic right now is breastfeeding and THC.
So what are your thoughts? What is the group saying? What are the questions? What are the
Oh,
problems? And
so our biggest one is pregnancy and breastfeeding. That seems to be one of the questions that I get daily. The other one is a lot of moms are in illegal states still. Like down here in the States, we're green, but we're not green enough down here.
yeah.
And a lot of them are worried about getting their child taken away from CPS, even after they've had their child. So those are our big topics. It's breastfeeding, pregnancy, and like how to keep your child in still intake.
Yeah. Do you have any lawyers in the group that are giving like kind of legal advice?
We have one in there, but they haven't spoke up yet.
Okay.
But then again, this is a really busy time for the cannabis, so I completely understand. But we have a nurse, a practitioner, and a doctor, and used to be a doctor, all in our group. And sometimes people will, like, I don't tag them because I'm not like, hey, look over here. But sometimes they'll chime in and they'll be like, hey, I was a nurse for so many years and I did this. This is the actual research of it. So I'm trying to get like lawyers. I mean, right now I've got doctors, which is really cool. I've got a Canna nurse in there. I have a mom that is a friend of the mom that did the Charlotte Sweat. Her daughter has the same syndrome, and she is in our group. And it is so cool to see that all the positives she's doing for cannabis and kids.
That's
So we just
awesome.
have people all around the world with all these.
You're a kids lady. Your business was daycare, right? And then because of the pandemic, so I mean, you have your childhood education there for youth as it is. So, what kind of steered you in the direction of hey, kids and cannabis?
Yes, it prepped me. It got me ready to be able to be like, hey, well, I'm a mom too, but I also have studied children, and I'm also doing more studying children, and actually. So it's like I'm upping my children education and just adding moms too.
Yeah, amazing. And what do you see for the future? What's kind of the mission here behind your group? And I mean, this is wonderful that women are allowed to have a voice in a safe place, and you're doing everything to make sure that they're getting the proper education and arming them with some facts, not hearsay. So kudos to you for doing that. But where do you see this in, next year even?
My big vision when I first started this is, my big hope is, if we can get enough people together to positive this cause, maybe we can get more green states, rec and medical. Maybe we can get more doctors on board. Maybe we can get more nurses on board. Maybe we can get those people that were like, oh, hey, Bob back in the 70s had a bad trip. I don't want to try it. Maybe we can educate them and change their minds.
Yeah.
And if we keep bringing all these people together to go out and spread, my hope is we can just start changing these rules, changing these laws, getting this stigma ended. But to do that, we've got to come together.
We find the same in Canada as far as misinformation or a bad experience. You kind of touched on both of those things.
Yes.
And it really is, you know, an individual's responsibility to see somebody in the medical field. You and I aren't doctors, and as much as we can say this is got healing powers, what works for you may not work for me, and vice versa. So, you know, with that, it's really getting the profile of that cannabinoid that's going to work with an individual. And of course, to do that, they have to go and see you know, a medical clinic. And I think that that's unnerving for some people, or maybe they think they know it all, or because of that experience, they're just not willing to believe that it could change. And so I think that that message and that movement is really powerful, being that you've got breastfeeding moms saying, okay, this has worked for me. This is not, you know, hindered my child, and all of these case studies. It's very new again, even though, you know, we kind of pulled it out of our system with prohibition. You know, it's getting reintroduced to something that's going to take a while. It's a new beginnings for cannabis. So changing
we got a while to go.
A while to go. I know. Yeah, cannabis industry comes with patience.
Well, that's how we get the patience, is the cannabis. So like, the patience to do this.
That's good. That's great. It's absolutely true. And well, speaking of patience too, because I'm so excited to meet you. I'm like, when's that going to be? We're going to go Women in Cannabis. You're going to be speaking.
Yes. And then you get to be there too.
Yeah, that's fun.
We're taking over. We're taking over.
Well, you know, we're still borders closed over here, but I think it's essential, right?
Yes.
Essential travel.
You gotta work. It's business.
You've got that upcoming, and I did poke around and see that you are planning a retreat.
I am.
Perhaps.
I went and toured it last Sunday. We have here in Washington, it's about 30 minutes north of me, a 420 friendly B&B. So she purposely rents out her property to 420 friendly people. It has 4 tree houses on the property. It's got like a main house. It's got 11 animals. It's on 4 acres, and we're renting out the whole property. And we're going to take it over for the whole weekend.
That's
amazing. Yeah.
So will you be getting different women vendors if they've got products or accessories and stuff like that? Or what's kind of the, you know, thought for what are we going to do? Because I can't wait. And this is patience.
That's what I keep telling myself too. I went out there and toured it, and me and my best friend, we were like, can it be this year? Dang, why is it got to be next year? This is so cool. Because this is my first event, my first big event, I'm holding more of a let's chill hostel style event. Okay. I want you to come down. There is no schedule. There is nothing that you have to be at any time. You don't have to wake up at any time. I want you to be able to come on Friday, unload your stuff, pack a bowl, pack a dab, whatever, and eat however you ingest, and just relax for the weekend. Just hang out. We've got
sorry, what was that word?
Relax for the weekend.
I think I've heard of that before. Yeah, I think that yeah.
That's why I'm trying to do this event like this, because a lot of retreats are the whole, well, we got this and this and this and this and this and this. And I'm like, well, no, you know what? I'm going to change the pace. I want to come for the weekend, drop your bags, go do your intake, go medicate, elevate, however you want to do it. There is swings, there are chairs everywhere, there is hammocks underneath. They're putting in a secret surprise movie theater. So that will be ready by the time we get there. So that's more of what it is. I don't have, we will have elevated meditation. We will have elevated yoga. And we will have high tea at noon.
Oh, lovely.
Yes, we have so many surprises for that high tea at noon. Like it's, but you know, but in all of those, you don't have to attend. They're there.
Yeah.
And if you want to, go to it. If you want to go chill in your treehouse or go hang out in the grass, I don't care. Go do what you want to do. So that's more of what this first event is going to be. I just want it to be, hey, we all finally get to meet. Let's chill. Let's get high. Let's hang out.
That's
And
awesome.
That's all I
That
want
sounds
it
so
to
much
be.
fun. Now, what about psilocybin? Because you know, in the cannabis world, it kind of meshes with the same kind of curious as the ones that are like, well, and I've also heard about this. So, do you get questions about you know, mushrooms and microdosing?
We do, but unfortunately, Facebook is not friendly.
Okay.
And so me personally, I'm for mushrooms because they're natural. There's some really good studies on it. But because our group is cannabis, I kind of have to stay in the cannabis realm. We tried to touch on mushrooms just out of curiosity because there
Yeah.
are some people curious and I'm a safe space, so why not? Facebook automatically deleted it within seconds, flagged it and sent it to me and said, don't do that again.
Wow.
So I think mushrooms are unfortunately going to have to kind of wait like cannabis did for it to be able to be spoken about a little bit more, unfortunately, even though there is some amazing studies I followed on it that are just helping PTSD patients like you wouldn't believe. But because mushrooms is so new on the scene, I unfortunately think it's got to wait like the cannabis did. But I think it should be touched on personally.
Yeah, well, the conversations are good, and you know, it's unfortunate that the restrictions in social media are an obstacle that everybody that I've spoken to over the years has faced, and so I know that there's new platforms being developed that are very you know, closed circuit and contained for communities to have those conversations. But as you say, they need to happen. It's how change does evolve.
Like moving it. Show 'em. Like every time.
But it's great to kind of just touch where you can and tread lightly. You don't want to get your group shut down for going against the grain
Yeah.
for only one person. But you know, you've got a movement there, and so voices will make a difference. And so
I love
appreciate
it.
as
When
well.
I first started that group, Facebook tried to stop me 3 times. They even blocked me from posting in my own group that I made. But every time I was like, nope, I appealed it. Nope, I appealed it. And I would write this really long thing. And I'm like, no, this is a movement. It's legal here in my state.
Yeah.
I hate that I have to throw that in there. But that has seemed to work. Like, I hate it though. I hate that I have to do that. But unfortunately, I have to. If I'm going to keep speaking my word, I'm going to have to write this big nasty thing to Facebook going, no, you can't do this.
What's the most interesting, or I guess maybe unique question that you've received or comment?
The one of the ones that makes me really curious is was a discussion about COVID and cannabis because
Okay.
starting having some studies coming out about cannabis helping to heal or not contract, like it's still in the works, guys. This is all just still in the works.
Yeah.
About how cannabis is actually healing from the inside to either prevent or help you heal faster if you catch it. Well, some of the ways that this topic was brought up about how to ingest when you have COVID, because COVID is lungs.
Yes.
Because it's a private group, I can't say some of the stuff that happened, but it was interesting. Some of the ways that people were like, I'm still ingesting. This is how I'm going to ingest, but it's like really weird, odd ways. Like not like, oh, I'm going to eat an edible, or like what if I just like do
Put it
it?
in your butt. Put it in your butt. I don't know. Put it in your butt. Put it in your butt. I don't know.
There was one of those on there. You put it in the capsule. Yeah. I read some of those comments and then I was just like, oh, this is a lot. And it was really funny at the same time because the way that these moms put these things in there, even when you get these oddball questions, you kind of look at it and you're like, okay, that's kind of funny though. Like the way that you worded that, it's like, I'm a mom, I get that.
Yeah.
COVID was one of them, and the other one was sex. We get some sex conversations about how it can enhance.
Yes. Now I'm interested to hear what the commenters say because, of course, having a sexual enhancement CBD capsule brand myself, I am very much pro. But really, it does come down to what it is formulated with. Right. I'm going to say that a strong THC, maybe the sex does feel better. I'm just too lazy to have it. So I think that there's a combination that does work. But what are they women saying?
So high drives. They are
really.
You know what? I'll admit it. I'll say it on camera. Me too. Me too. Cannabis. I mean, it's not like crazy or anything. Like I'm just like, our husband.
Yeah.
It's one of those things that I'm in my mid-30s. I've had a kid. You know what I mean? Like as you get older, your body just kind of starts slowing down just naturally towards that drive. Well, it can towards that drive.
Yeah.
Plus, due to medical issues, I've lost a lot of my insides, my girly insides. So that also doesn't help with the drive.
Right.
And so that was the main thing is the drive. Like the drive just goes up. Yes. And if I'm being quite frank, less lubricant needs to be done because you're able just to relax your body and enjoy. So when you can relax and enjoy, your body naturally relaxes.
That's right.
Yeah,
that's right. The objectives that I've got with introducing it to anybody is I don't need it. Great. You may be the okay, Ron Jeremy, whatever. But there's things that we don't realize that we maybe compartmentalize.
I just tried to say and butchered it too. Yeah, that word.
But we keep it in. And we don't know that, while we're doing the deed, perhaps we're thinking also, I got to take that load out of the laundry. And, we're moms, we're active, we're busy, and we may just need to have a clarity in our minds that we don't realize that we're not as focused. Yeah, it feels good and we're the best. But, maybe we don't realize that we've got a little anxiety or we've got a little, tension that we're, just fine. I'm tense right now and I look like I'm all loosey-goosey. I know my son's underneath of me wailing. Stop it. This is the joys of working from home, I guess. How are you managing? You've got little ones yourself, right? You've got...
Well, mine is just turned 9 actually in April. And it's fine because he's older.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like he's one of the ones that he can just log on to school and do his thing.
Yep.
He actually does his school. He doesn't do his school here during the week. He does his school at his dad's during the week. They have a better school district than we do. Like, so it's just a better school. So I made that sacrifice to be like, yeah, let's keep him in, a good school district with a good school.
Yes.
But him over there, they said that he's fine. He just logs on, or I talk to him about it. He goes, Mom, I just get up and I log on. And he's like, I have my books at my desk. And he just does his stuff and he logs off and he logs right back in. Like he made it simple. I feel so bad when I hear all these moms going, oh my gosh, homeschooling. I'm going, I'm sorry.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, no, it's true. I mean, that's great. He's motivated and doing his thing. I think it's even, and you're fortunate that, and even though it is a sacrifice, you're fortunate that you're not even having to break away and make a lunch or, get a snack and all of these things, right? That when you're in a corporate office, it's not like your child ever comes in and says, can I, may I, so big changes for everybody. What do you guys, where are you opened up, and is like life happening in Washington State? Like,
it is. It shouldn't be, but it is. Our numbers have gone back up to they were in January, and they're actually talking about putting us back in phase 2 after we just hit phase 3. But it is opening back up. People are starting to do stuff like COVID never happened. We have, I think 40% of our state now has their first dose of shots. I'm fully vaccinated. I got mine fully done. So yes and no. Like it is, but it shouldn't be.
Are you going to go back to what you were doing now that you've started this movement? And
it is my goal to not reopen the daycare. Awesome. I am going to try my very best these next 3 months to figure out a way to continue doing Canna Moms or Good Moms 2 full time. Because if I go back to the daycare, if I have to go back to the daycare and do 9 to 9.5 hour days with no break, the group gets put behind. It gets put into the afternoons or it gets put to the weekends.
Yeah.
But I was also burned out at the daycare. I was doing it for the money. I was doing it because it brought in good, decent income. Now, when it comes to my Canna Moms or Good Moms too, I'm up. You see my messages. I'm up at 3 o'clock in the morning and I'm pumped. I'm like messaging you. I'm like, hey, guess what? Or my cousin Tammy that I'm helping out on the East Coast, helping her do the green global CBD over there. And I'm texting her in the morning. I'm like, oh, hey, guess what? Somebody said something or, about your nano jellies. And this gives me just so much fire and just so much passion that I don't mind working 3 o'clock in the morning, taking a little break and doing other stuff, and then spending 9 hours for the rest of the day behind this computer or on my phone. Like, I love it. Like, I'm powered by it. So I am going to try and make it my goal within the next 3 months to make sure I do this full time.
I'm supporting you and everybody else. You guys do too, ladies. Even if you're not a mom, we'll say that as well. Find them on Facebook. Ask to join this private group. Look for Amanda. You can find them on Instagram as well at Canna Moms or Good Moms too. As you can tell, Amanda's easy to talk to and knows her shit. And we are totally supporting you here from Canada. Really excited to be affiliated for our little ventures in the upcoming months. And we're standing behind your mission and movement, and I think that sky's the limit. So good luck.
I'm going up. I'm not going back down. Like, I've already got so much fire underneath me. I'm just like, I can't go back down. I've got too much pulling me back up.
There we go. Yeah.
I love it.
To the top. Thanks, Amanda, so much. We'll put your links and your handles and stuff for everybody to find you. And we will talk to you probably later, but me only. Bye.